Hey D, how you doing? Good morning. Good to see you this morning. Getting things set behind the scenes here. If you're live with us, we are live on Instagram. We are live on Clubhouse. If you want to find us on Clubhouse, just search Monday Mindset Movement on Clubhouse. And we're also on LinkedIn today. We're also on Facebook. But the channels and the spaces. Yeah, good to see y'all this morning. So good to see you. All right, we're getting ready to get started with the show in just a few seconds here. Hey, Minister Graham, good to see you this morning. All right, good to see y'all this morning. So fantastic to see you. Hey, y'all, what is happening? Good to see you this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we're about to rock and roll here in just a second. Welcome, welcome to the Monday Mindset Movement. Hey, y'all, I'm Robert Kennedy III, RK3, place to be. I'm so glad that y'all are able to join me on this here Monday morning for the Monday Mindset Movement. We got 15 to 20 minutes of elevation, inspiration, and motivation for you, designed to get you rocking and rolling through your week. And I'm so glad that you're here this morning. Do me a favor, make sure that you tell your people about the show. Yeah, Doris J. Well, the audio isn't fixed how I want it, but you're getting the audio this morning. You're getting it straight this morning on Instagram. So glad that you're here this morning. So Doris, glad you're here. Minister Graham, glad you're here. Mary DeMitchell, glad you're here. D. Bowden, glad that you're here. Sirin Away, glad that you're here. Janai, glad that you're here. Rowan, glad that you're here. Monique, glad that you're here. Cleveland, glad that you're here. Johnson, glad that you're here. My goodness, Keith, so good to see you this morning. We're getting ready to rock and roll this morning. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. We're going to get started in a second. But here's the question that I've got for you this morning. You know, we start out with a question. And my question this morning is, what is it that makes change so difficult? Why is it so hard to shift from something that you've been doing to something that you know is better for you? Hey, we're going to talk about that change factor this morning. If you want to get notified every time we go live, do me a favor, text GO LIVE to 240-557-8679. That's GO LIVE to 240-55 story. And guess what, y'all? We're getting ready to rock and roll with this thing. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is the Monday Mindset Movement. I'm so glad that you're here again. We're live on Clubhouse. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Instagram. So glad that y'all are here this morning with me for the Monday Mindset Movement. Hey, y'all, it's February. It's Black History Month. We've been celebrating Black History Month all month. And again, the purpose of this month is really to celebrate the accomplishments of people in the United States, people of color who have made significant accomplishments and have contributed to the fabric of what we've built here in the United States. And so happy Black History Month to you. And it's February, which also means it's the month where the gyms are starting to empty out a little bit and go back to regular attendance. Right? Listen, no matter how much we talk about this, it seems like people still just fall off. People just still fall off in February. And I think that's the centerpiece of our conversation today. It's the centerpiece of our conversation today. How to change. Two great elements of change. That's what our show is entitled today. So, how do you change? How do you make sure that the change is sustainable? How do you make sure that the change sits, right? How do you make sure that when it's time to change, it is not something that happens just for a minute or just for a moment? Because change is hard. It is. Let's be real about it. Change is not always easy. Katie Milkman, who wrote this book, How to Change. Yeah, like a step by step. She wrote the book, How to Change. Great book. Forward in that book by Angela Duckworth, who wrote Grit, right? Two great authors, two great books. How to Change. So Katie Milkman, here's what happened. She went to Google. She was asked to go to Google and head up a leadership retreat. Now, when she went to Google, she found, or she was asked a question about how to change or how to get employees to take advantage of a lot of the great things that Google was offering. So I don't know if you've ever heard about Google and some of the employee benefits that they have. Google is one of those workplaces where they've got the open concept, or they've got rooms with couches and video games, places you can nap, and it's just kind of this environment where, hey, we don't want you to leave. We want you to be comfortable here. We want you to sleep here. We want you to move in. We want you to live here, right? That's the type of environment. We want to encourage your well-being. We want to encourage you to ideate and come up with new ideas. We want the creative and flow process to be integrated in everything that you do here at Google, right? So that's what Google is and what Google has offered. And as a matter of fact, Google had a lot of programs, and one of the questions that was asked to her by one of the HR VPs was, why are people not taking advantage of a lot of the different programs that we're offering, such as programs in personal training, right? Programs in healthy eating, programs in saving for retirement. Why are people not taking advantage of those things? Now, Katie Milkman, she's a researcher, and she kind of had a hunch or some thoughts about the answer, but she said, you know what, let me go back and connect with my team. Let me observe what's happening here, and then let me combine that with some of the research. She came back up on this example of SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome. What was happening was that experts were finding that quite a few kids, quite a few children, quite a few infants were dying in their cribs or their bassinets, and they didn't know for a while why it was happening. But what they did was they did some research, and they found out that when babies were put to sleep on their backs, it decreased that infant mortality or infant death rate by more than half. So here's what they did. What they did was they found that out, and they rolled the messaging out to a lot of people. They put it on the radio, they put it on TV, they put it in newspapers, they put it in magazines, they put it in mailers or mailouts, they put it in hospital, they put it everywhere, so that people can see this new data and see this new information and make some changes or operate differently based on this new information. Here's what they found. Doing this campaign worked. It worked. And it not only decreased the amount that SIDS took place, it decreased the amount by 4 significantly. Now, why was it so easy for this change to take place? Why was it so easy for them to send out this message and all of a sudden things shift so drastically? Well, here's what Katie Milkman's research said. It's easier for people to change when they don't have to change deep-seated behaviors. Here's what I mean. She said that going from the day before a mother has a baby, she's got no child to take care of. She's got no decisions to make about childhood or children, right? So that changes from one day to the next. The next day, one day you have a baby, the day, one day you don't have a baby, the next day you do. So they're stepping into, mothers and fathers are stepping into this new place, this new experience where they've had no experience before. So they're stepping into a place where they don't have to undo certain behaviors. So when they send out the messaging, when the government sends out the messaging, when the health industry sends out the messaging, it's easier for people to make this change because they don't have any prior existing behaviors that they've got to wade through. Right? So what is Katie Miltman saying here? She said that it's easy for people to make change, or it's easy for change to take place when it seems like when things are a new season, a fresh start, or it feels like it's a new season or fresh start. I hope you're getting that. It's easier for people to change when it's a fresh start, when it's a new season, when it's something brand new, or it feels like it's a fresh start. Let me say the reverse of that. The reason, or one of the big reasons why we often fall off the wagon or fail at certain things, is because we're trying to compare where we are now or what we're doing right now with what we were doing yesterday. So here's the deal. It's easier to do today when you're not comparing it to yesterday. It's easier to do today when you're not comparing it to yesterday. So what if you were to wake up every day saying, today, I'm going to start. Today, I'm going to do this. Today, I'm going to begin this. And that's what the whole idea of Monday Mindset is all about. That's the reason that we came up with a concept for this show. Having a mindset of starting, having a mindset of beginning every day. Whatever happened yesterday, if you had good stuff happen yesterday, great. If you had bad stuff happen yesterday, okay, we're starting from now. Today is day one. Today is fresh start. Today is new slate. Today is the beginning. I'm starting right now. Whatever happened before, okay, I have nothing to do with that. I can't change it. I can't adjust it. I can't make it look different. It happened. What do I need to do today? Today is what I can control. So if I have a mindset, if I wake up every morning saying, today I'm going to begin, today I'm going to start, we've got to enter each day like it's the beginning. That's a crucial element of change. So change element number one, I'm giving you two things today, two elements that are essential to change. Change element number one, the first thing that's essential to change is consistently choosing to begin. Consistently choosing to start. Hey, Damaris, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. Hey, Melvin, good to see you this morning. Consistently choosing to start is one crucial, critical element of change. What's the second one? All right, well, let's walk into that second one. Last year, I was training for a century, right? I was training for a century last year, and I was doing these rides. I started to ride, and I was riding 1 mile, was riding about 4 miles, riding 5 miles, maybe 6 miles. But I was doing that for, a few weeks, and I wasn't moving fast past that milestone. One day I got up to about 8, and I was like, whoo. And every time I did these rides, these short rides, I would get tired and I would think, my gosh, if I'm getting tired at mile 5, how on earth am I going to get to 100? So here's what happened. One day, my brother, who had been riding for a while, called me and he said, "Hey, I'm outside. I'm getting ready to go. I'm coming to pick you up." So my brother came and picked me up, and we just started to ride. We just started to go. And that day, we rode about 22, 23 miles. Right? What changed? What changed? I was able to jump from about 8 miles maximum to about 20 miles pretty much instantaneously. What changed? The biggest thing that changed was that my brother said, "Hey, I'm coming to pick you up." Then somebody else suggested, "Hey, you got to get into a cycling club." Then when somebody suggested that, I started seeing cycling groups everywhere. I'm driving, there's a cycling club. I'm just seeing cycling clubs everywhere. I'm seeing groups of people riding. I'm in this exercise group with a buddy of mine, Leslie Samuel. Right? He's a Beachbody coach, and we are in this Beachbody group together, and we do exercise. He does his exercises, I do the program, and other people in the group do the program that they're in. Right? And we get badges. We decide, okay, when I'm finished one program, the question is asked. Everybody's like, okay, what are you working on next? What program are you going to do next? Right? And this exercise group is consistent, right? We make consistent choices in this group every day. Why does this work, or why is it helpful? I'll give a third example. I'm in a mastermind. When I'm done this, I'm going to go have a meeting with my mastermind group. And every Monday, or Mondays when we meet, before we meet, we fill out an accountability form. And when that form is filled out, every member of the group gets an email saying, "Hey, Robert filled out his accountability form," and they see the information on it. Why is that powerful? Well, it's powerful because it really drives element number 2 for change, right? Committed community. When you are in a community, or when you're in a group of people, when I was with my brother, when my brother called me, because my brother was driven, my brother wasn't just starting out cycling and saying, "Hey, let's go do 2 miles today." He said, "Hey, I'm going out. I'm coming to pick you up." He was committed to something. I didn't know where he was going. He had in his mind, he already knew, listen, we're doing at least 20 today. And because I had a committed partner, or a committed community, I was driven to go more than twice past my prior limit. Right? I'm exercising in this group with Leslie, and I struggled previously to follow through or do 90-day programs, complete 90-day programs. Since doing that, I've completed about 3 programs. Right? And I'm about to finish another one. I'm about to start my next, because I'm in a committed community. I'm in a mastermind. This mastermind, we've been together in this mastermind for, my gosh, probably 4 years. And because we are in a committed community, we continue to grow in our businesses. We continue to push each other. We continue, and it's not always obvious at first, because sometimes you fail, and sometimes you feel a little bit off. Sometimes you feel like you missed the mark. Sometimes you feel like you didn't hit the goal that you had. But when you're in committed community, somebody pulls you up. Somebody says, "Hey, I'm coming to pick you up." Somebody says, "Hey, what's next?" Somebody says, "Hey, I saw you do that. My gosh, why are you not celebrating that thing that you did?" This is what happens. This is how change begins to happen. The two main elements, the two great elements of change are, number one, consistently choosing to start having that Monday mindset every day, waking up with, I'm going to start this, I'm going to begin this, I'm going to do this, right? That's number one, consistently choosing to start. Number two, committed community, having a group of people that make it harder for you not to change. I've got another example. Several years ago, I was in this group called the Full Focus group. Michael Hyatt has this planner, the Full Focus planner, and I had the planner, and I'd ordered the planner, and I had it coming to me every 12 weeks. But one day I was looking through my planner, and I realized that although this planner was for 12 weeks, most of the time I was only filling it out for 3 or 4 of the 12. There was a lot of blank space in this planner. And so I said, you know what? Enough's enough. And what I did was I put out a call in the community, say, hey, I stink at this. I'm trying to get better at it. I need a group of people. Several people said, hey, yep, we want to get with that too. And now we've got this text group for the last few years that every morning just says, hey, these are my big 3 priorities for today. I did it. They put it in the planner. This is what I'm working on today. Am I perfect? Do I do it every day? Does everybody do it every day? No, sometimes we miss, sometimes we fall off, but it's always there. Somebody is still thinking about it. Somebody picks it up. And because somebody picks it up, it's always present for me. And it always represents that stage or that change that I need to make, right? So I literally have to resist change. I've set myself up for change. I literally have to resist it in that area of my life. Right? So here's action. Here's the thing that I'd love for you to do today. Set yourself up for change. And here's what I would like you to do. I want you to write down 1 or 2 things that you want to change. I want you to write down 1 or 2 things that you want to change. Once you have written those 1 or 2 things down, then I want you to find a community. I want you to find a community. I want you to find a community at your church. I want you to find a group of friends. It could be simply just going in public and going to a Facebook group. Whatever it is, find a community. Commit to finding a community. Don't talk yourself out of it. Talk yourself into it. Decide that your change or your desire to change or your need to change is greater than the fear of change. Write your goals down or write 1 or 2 things down that you need to change and then find a community. Those are the 2 actions that I want you to take. I want to encourage you to take. I want to empower you to take this week. And once you've done those 2 things, then choose to start. Choose to begin. Choose to act like it's Monday. That's it. Choose to start. Choose to begin. Choose to act like it's Monday. Yes, today is Monday. And we want to shift your mindset to a place of growth. But it doesn't just start and stop today. We want to encourage you to take your Monday mindset into tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Yes, consistently choose to start, consistently choose to begin, make a choice, move, start a movement, be a movement. Join me next week, Monday, for the Monday Mindset Movement at 8 a.m. on Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. That's what we got today. I'll see you next time for the Monday Mindset Movement. Peace.